Hello there, you beautiful people. My name is Willow, and welcome back to Supreme Commander Force Alliance Forever for a 4v4 team matchmaker game played on the Neuroxis map generator, a map made specifically for this game and this game only. Let's go ahead and get into player introductions, starting with Team Blue in the west and ending with Team Red in the east. And of course, before we do, something we should always look at is the rating range. Average rating of 1800 for both teams, a tip-top high-level pro game, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. So let's slow down the game a bit and get into player introductions, starting in the north and heading south. For Team 1, we have ourselves a light blue Aeon Best faction going first land by the name of Blast Chilled. Then down to the south of him, we have a dark blue UEF going first land. He is a player who has very much so a intimidating name. It is none other than No Fear 555. Then we can move down to the south with the purple Seraphim player going first land. Bad choice of faction, but a good player nonetheless. His name is MSG, which I'm guessing stands for, I don't know, Madison Square Garden? Who knows? As we move on to the last player for Team 1, a Cyan UEF. Such a beautiful color on these blocky units today. We have ourselves a man by the name of Grunty Noob. Then over to the eastern team, we're gonna go south and make our way north, starting with the bright red UEF going first land. He is the highest rated player in this game, and his name is Blow Deer. Then up to the north of him, we have a maroon colored Cybran going first land by the name of Kelly. Then up to the north of him, we have the lowest rated player in the game and the only player here who is not at least around the pro level. It is an orange Seraphim going first land by the name of D's Nuts. And the lowest rated, of course, at 1114. Very much so out of his league, but we'll see if he can hold his own in this one as we move to the last, but certainly not the least player. Going first land as a yellow UEF. His name is Balance Slave Noob, but I'm going to call him Harzer in hopes that I don't get demonetized for saying the S word. Now we have the players introduced. It's time to look at this map, and this map screams land battles to me, and I hope we see some big and explosive ones. 16.7 thousand reclaim for these players to enjoy shoving into their coffers, and much more after that once they start beating each other over the head with robots. Of course, we need to speed up the game, and we need to see how these players approach this map. There's a lot of mass. We have this area down here, which is a somewhat of a defilade. It's a little bit lower in geography. It's a little bit closer to sea level than the raised areas around it, where I expect to see some big land battles, but the main fight I'm expecting is going to be along these chokes on both sides of the map. We're expecting to see a lot of units coming here because it's kind of a straight path, and it leads to the middle of two enemy bases. This middle area down here, you have the terrain here. You have a bit of a big choke point to get into the base. I feel like it'll be a little bit harder to push. Here on these sides, you have a bit of an larger choke point. It's still a choke point for the players to try and push in, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. Now, we have our first scout coming out from No Fear. He's trying to get that intel. He wants to know what's going on, and we're going to use it and abuse it for a nice little fly over the bases as he first scouts D's Nuts, the lowest rated player in the game, and he's going to continue to move around the map with that scout. We're going to go ahead and turn on all of the icons and everything once again. We have no early bomber, at least not yet, out of any of these players, but it's still only 3 minutes and 15 seconds, so plenty of time for one of these players to get a cheesy strat up and running. And of course, this scout gonna see a lot, not getting shot down too early, so it's just gonna be able to find everything on the map. And this is a lot of fun. So, what's going on? The first aggressive move we're seeing out here is coming from MSG. He's put his comm into the middle, into this lowered terrain. He's gonna try and take it over. He wants to get these mass extractors in the middle. He wants to get units out over here, but he's not the only one. Kelly, with a strong early land spam already pouring out of that factory, he's gonna be in a happy position here. Gonna get a lot of units out in the field. His comm already moving out. We also, of course, have No Fear out here, moving his units forward, moving his engineers forward, expanding into the middle. Gonna be very interested to see how these players fight it out in the middle. I think there's gonna be a lot of contestation here, but I don't think that anybody's gonna be really able to push into the bases. It just seems very unlikely, since this large choke point is where all of the units out from both D's Nuts and Kelly are going to be funneling through. It'll be very difficult. Also, would love to see some use of walls. A wall right here, or a wall up here in these kind of choke points can really limit the options for your opponent. So it's going to be quite the fun time. So, what are they up to? We have a Mantis that's managed to run by, get into the back line, gonna pick up an engineer, or no! Oh, the mech's almost saving that engineer, but the engineer was determined to die. Of course, it's a Seraphim one. Why would it want to be alive? And it decides to run out of the safety of its mech's cover, and now this Mantis gonna be able to get back into the far back line of MSG, and there's two engineers ripe for the pickings. Does Kelly notice it? Does Kelly give the order? He should be able to see the engineers, and there we go. The engineer's gonna try and get the reclaim off, but I don't think they're gonna be too successful in that venture. They're gonna start chasing it down, but these two engineers, they're gonna be two corpses very, very soon. And that's the end of that. Meanwhile, in the south, we have Blowdeer. He's expanded out. This is a very interesting situation. It was kind of just who can get to the mechs first down here, and Kelly got two, and Blowdeer, of course, got the vast majority of the rest of them. And over here in the middle, we have two armies now meeting up. The Mantis that got its 2 kills, the hero of the day, gets killed off by some strikers. Very unfortunate, but is gonna get reinforced in this area as a mech goes down to 3 Mantis out from Kelly. Really just not a lot of units coming out of the base of MSG, and he's kind of paying for it, but he is not worried about paying that bill, as he has already got 4, count them, 4 Tech 2 mass extractors. The man is gonna be rich, already up to 49 mass a second, the highest in the game, except for maybe another player who was temporarily at 57, most likely reclaim related. So overall, going with a very, very spicy play, just going straight for the eco, not trying to defend his base, is paying for it a little bit with Kelly's aggression, but the Mantis go down, and the Bomber is now out to try and get itself some damage done. Damage and range, the first upgrade on the field out from both Blowdeer and Harzer. So those two players going to be doing very aggressive things with their commanders. In the middle of the map, we do, of course, have ourselves a T2 upgrade on the way for Kelly. Kelly wants to throw up some PD. He wants to PD creep MSG down. And MSG chilling in the middle, just trying to make sure he has his production online, and is going to get that 4th factory, and that's kind of just the magic number. These 4 factories, they'll produce a lot as long as he's not stalling mass. Up in the north, damage and range has finished up for Harzer. Damage and range has finished up for Blowdeer. T2 is on the way for Blast Shield. He wants to also throw up his own PD, but he needs to be quick. He needs this upgrade to finish in a timely manner, because right now Harzer has the unit advantage, and he has the comm upgrade advantage, and that's going to be a very scary situation for the 2000 rated player up here. Of course, we do have to take into account that Blast Shield has the Aeon, he has the microable force, and at these levels, that micro can really make a difference. And also, No Fear sending his comm up here to try and help out. It's a little bit of a divergent thing going on here, as there's 2 comms in the middle for the Eastern team, and now there's 2 comms in the top for the Western team. This middle middle area is going to be a little bit harder to hold. MSG being alone, not going to have the greatest of time. He's about to have his own T2 upgrade finished. Kelly walking forward, going to try and get a forward Cerberus, and we have to check the range on that, and that is going to be a very strong position. It's going to be able to threaten at least one of the land factories, and if he can manage to get that built very quickly, he will be very happy. Even going to use the Mantis for the enhanced build power there. And T2 has finished up for Blast Shield, but he's going to have to run away and cede some territory because he's just not going to be able to build any kind of real defensive structure as long as Harzer keeps moving forward. And I will learn to speak one of these days, but today is just not that day. As down to the south, we have the damage and range upgrade for Blowdeer, but he's not being aggressive just yet. He is a little bit outnumbered, but that upgrade should kind of offset that. We have T2 finished up for Grunty Noob, so he's going to be able to throw up some triads. And the Cerberus goes down, and it's immediately going for a factory, and now switches up its targeting, trying to go for a PD out from MSG. And unfortunately, Kelly is going to lose his Cerberus very early on. Kelly not going to be happy with that result, is going to have to walk away. Now building a Zapper, also got T2 land, so he just has all the T2 stuff going on right here. In the north, Harzer is fighting double comm, and he's fighting into some PD. He needs to be a little bit careful, but he's trying to overcharge and beat down the Oblivions. But the Oblivions are just going to be able to get rebuilt by Blast Shield. He's not going to be in too much of a threat up here. So right now, Harzer, he's doing his damnedest to get some aggression down, but he's now taking a lot of damage out from these Oblivions. He's going to have to fall back, and that means that it's going to be a bit of a petered out attack up here in the north. Meanwhile, in the middle, D's Nuts now facing T2 aggression, as there are now pillars out and on the map trying to gun him down, but he has T2, he has gun speed and range. He is not scared of some piddly pillars in his lines. He will blast them down with extreme aggression, as here in the middle, speed and range now on the way for MSG. He's going to be taking out that forward T2 support factory there, and Kelly is running for the hills. And in fact, that is the truth. This area is higher, so I guess you could call it a hill. He's running to the plateaus, everybody. That's where he's going, as he is no longer able to just hold out against MSG, who has just done a lot better job of managing that commander, of keeping it doing something useful. So now he's going to gain some territory. He has a large T1 force. Does need to be a little bit worried. He saw the T2 out of his enemy. He knows that rhinos are going to be on the way, or maybe hoplites if Kelly is feeling particularly micro intensive or just wants to throw away some mass. We also have Ilshis now coming out from D's Nuts, and those nuts gonna be very dangerous right now. MSG does need to worry a little bit here. He has a very strong comm. T2 with gun gives him that little bit of a tankiness that you like to see, and the gun gives him the damage, but he doesn't have the force to compete with just a large amount of T2, and the T2 numbers are rising quickly. So that's going to be something to keep an eye on. Already out here, already getting himself some damage down onto these Mantis, onto these Rhinos, even a banger or two in there. And he's just trying to use and abuse that upgrade he managed to get very quickly with the T2 upgrade on his comm. He's going to walk forward. Kelly throwing down some Cerberus, using what he can to make sure MSG does not take a single step further forward. But MSG not really deterred. The Cerberus not quite like the Oblivion at killing comms. It is known as the Tickle Cannon for a reason. It's just so low on alpha damage and just shoots so much. It takes so long for it to really do anything to these comms, whereas the Oblivion is just that large smack of damage that you hate to see. And over here to the south, Blowdeer, he's gotten a sub 12-minute Strat Bomber out onto the field, and it's already up to 11 kills. It's coming forward. It's gonna get caught out by some interceptors, but it looks as though it will be able to run away here, and we're going to track the progress of this as we go. MSG also in a bit of a pickle right now. He's down to 8,000 HP. He needs to start falling back. There's a lot of units on top of him. The Strat Bomber up to 1 rank of veterancy, killing 18 units. We need to go down here and look at MSG. He might be in a little bit of trouble, dropping into the red at 3,200 hit points. He might be able to get a rank of veterancy if this fight goes on long enough, but I don't think the Eastern team wants to let that happen. MSG running for the hills, much like Kelly was earlier. Those 4 Cerberus being just enough to stop all of this from being a problem. MSG does seem to be able to walk away freely, so we'll go back to tracking that strategic bomber. Although D's Nuts is walking his way south, he's trying to help deal with MSG. This bomber out from Blodier, well, it's got some damage done. Over 6,000, almost 7,000 damage in mass value, and that is going to be huge. 8,137 mass killed, and it doesn't look like there's going to be an end in sight for this play coming out from the highest rated player in the game. Blodier, given the opportunity, will deal critical damage to his opposition, and right now up to 2 ranks of veterancy, nearly 10,000 mass killed on one strategic bomber is gonna be huge. There is a play for air coming out from Grunty Noob, but he's just behind. He's so far behind. Honestly, should have built a SAM instead of building that P-Gen first, because that P-Gen now going to be under threat. But I think Blodier more than happy to keep going for the value targets, the mass extractors, the occasional T2 power generator, and right here could get a very nasty bomb out. Is it going to kill off 2 T2 mexes? And oh no, it's a disaster. Right now with this alone, Team 1 went from probably being ahead economically to 20 mass behind. That's how you know that they were ahead economically, because losing all these T2 mexes, they're still only 20 mass a second behind as a team. And this is really, really painful. Blodier up to 4 ranks of veterancy on a strategic bomber. 18,500 mass killed for a unit that costs in the range of 2,000 to 3,000 mass. Is extreme efficiency, and in comes another bomb. In goes down another T2 mex. Is he gonna be able to make it happen? Is he gonna live the dream of getting all the way up to a 5 vet strat bomber? He does it! He gets the 5th rank of vet, and it saves the ambassador for just a moment, but the ambassador goes down, and UEF around the world salute him, as he was the hero, not that we wanted, but that we needed. And in the middle, things have taken a turn for the worse for the Western team. Just all around coming up with big L's is the Western team, as the middle has been pretty much fully claimed by the Eastern team. With the advent of Harzer moving in with his T2 force, he decided he couldn't make ground in the north, so he was gonna make it in the middle, and that is a very heads-up play coming out from him. But now we see No Fear sitting over here with Titans on the field. Yes, indeed, T3 UEF Tech out for that dark blue UEF player, and he's going to start trying to kill off these pillars, kill off these parashields, kill off these sky boxers. And he's going to do it very slowly, needs to make sure he's microing them, doesn't want to get into a heads-up fight, doesn't want to get surrounded, but that can be very high value. MSG down here still playing aggressive, has managed to get tactical missile on the comm, and he is getting some return damage up to 7.4 thousand mass killed. And now, oh, he was going for mass extractors, but he wasn't able to get it. The TMD is already there, and T3 land has finished up for Kelly. Overall, Team West, Team 1 is just struggling. And that was a painful, painful display of absolute domination coming out from the Eastern team in the past couple of minutes. But the Western team not out of it just yet. MSG in particular took a huge blow, is going to have to rebuild quite heavily. The strategic bomber, I don't remember where it fell. It's probably already been reclaimed. Oh, nope, it's down here. It did drop 1,700 reclaim for the nearly 20,000 mass it killed. So you gotta look at silver linings. You got a little bit of reclaim out of it. But Blodier now sending out broadswords, and they're dangerously close to MSG's comm. And I'm not sure the Western team could just stop these broadswords even if they wanted to. MSG's comm gonna start taking some damage. He has that tactical missile upgrade. He is gonna be trying to get more damage done with that. Maybe he can get a rank of veterancy by firing at some of these T2 mexes that aren't necessarily protected by TMD. But MSG going down to 12,000 HP rapidly. Gotta remember, the broadsword just has the highest air to ground DPS you could imagine. 9,000 HP, half HP now from his 18,900 origins. And no real air incursion. Nobody's going for it. It looks like Team 1 is just going to sacrifice their player here because 3,000 HP and falling quickly. I don't even know if the ASF are scrambled right now if it would save him. And that's going to be our first ejection with MSG going down. A great explosion because it's Seraphim. Love to see it. And that is going to be a blow yet again to Team 1. And over here to the north, we now have Titans out from Harzer getting into the base of No Fear. And it's looking like it might just be a steamroll as Team 1 is just falling apart at every point of the map. The only point of the map that's not necessarily going horribly is the south, but we got cruisers out from Blodier, and they're sieging the base of Grunty Noob. Oh, man. This isn't a rock and a hard place. This is between a hard place and a harder place. As right now, the Western team down nearly 300 mass a second, sub 20 minutes in. We're not even 20 minutes and they're down 300 mass a second. I know they're pros, but man, does this look brutal. And now No Fear sitting on 2 bases. Maybe he can just eco up really hard. Maybe he can make something happen. Maybe he can take the middle away from Kelly and D's Nuts, who is performing well above his pay grade. He's not really falling behind. He's doing all right. And right now in the south, the governors are stacking up. And the base of Grunty Noob looking more and more vulnerable by the second. He's trying to get up more air. Maybe just throw some torpedo bombers. You only need 5. To really get those governors, well, at least get one of them, slow down the siege, but more and more governors are going to come out. And a critical thing here is they're so close to this air production for Grunty Noob, it just means it's going to be very, very difficult for him to deal with this because, like, yeah, your air unit's going to come out and then they're going to get shot by a governor. It's not a very fun time. And man, oh man, are things going poorly for the Western team. The one bright spot I feel is No Fear. He got to T3 land production pretty quickly. He managed to clean out a lot of the threatening units. And up to the north, it does seem as though Blast Chilled, their highest rated player, has managed to get to the 20-minute mark relatively unmolested. Sure, he lost a little bit to that strategic bomber, but he is still well on track to get a lot of eco up and out right now. And the southern team, Blodier, he's been less than unharassed. He's just kind of been given free reign over this entire area. So he is going to be happy with his situation thus far. And for now, we're going to the waiting game. We're going to wait to see the next big move. Buzzkill's being built en masse to try and stop these governors by Grunty Noob. And he's just still struggling with it. He needs to come up with a solution to this quickly. And in the middle, large loyalist force now with bricks being scattered in for Kelly. And a lot of Percivals now starting to make their way out onto the field for No Fear. He wants to start getting some aggression down. He does still have this forward production facility, which is making mostly Zooies, it would seem. And he is going for some teched up factories here in the front. Maybe wants to get some Seraphim T3 tech to help him out there. Where is his HQ is the question. It's back here, and he's going T3 Seraphim, so he's going to have both factions at his disposal. As we hit the 22-minute mark, we can go ahead and maybe check on the economies of these teams. Overall, No Fear in the lead with 2 bases at 314, but 1,000 mass a second for the secondary team, for Team 2. And Team 1 only at 700. I mean, they still have a lot of mass to go around, but not as much as the enemy team. So it's gonna be a very scary situation. Total mass generated for the teams over or nearing a 100,000 mass advantage for Team 2. And here in the middle, we have Bricks and Loyalists going up against mostly Zooies. There's the occasional Titans streaming in, and there's Percivals on the way. But this force out from Kelly looking dangerous. And the Loyalist and Brick Force gaining territory, but the Percival's coming out means that this force is going to be a lot less scary in a moment's time. And these Percivals and these Loyalists going to keep trading back and forth, the occasional Brick getting its shots in. And it does seem as though Kelly thinks he has a critical mass here. He wants to get in. He wants to shut down this production before it can get any further. He's using the Loyalists to try and ward off the Percivals, but now he's left with 3 bricks versus 5 Percivals, and he's fighting T2PD. This is just going to go poorly for him, and that's going to be very, very unfortunate. Up here to the north, Harzer. He is still sitting on a decent cohort of units, but it seems as though he's fallen behind a little bit. Both Harzer and Grunty Noob just struggling. It seems as though they didn't necessarily get as much of the map as they maybe would have wanted. But they're doing all right for themselves, and despite everything, the game state is kind of reaching some parity. Reclaim numbers, Harzer in the lead at 21,000. 21,000 also for Blast Shield and No Fear. 17,000 for Grunty Noob. Everybody else below 15,000. And as I said, it's a high reclaim game here and a high unit count game. We've had a lot of land battles, but that Strat Bomber out of Blodier was masterful. And since then, even managing to pick up a kill with broadswords is pretty good, as we have Rambo SCUs coming out of the factories of Harzer. He's now getting set up with Rambos in the front line. He wants to use these SCUs to gain himself enough of an advantage to push forward. As over here to the west, Blast Shield has his own Harbinger force online. The nice thing about the Rambos is they do give that nice 1 mass a second. It's not much, but it's something. You can still get a tiny bit. I mean, 3 of them pay for a T1 land factory. Or 4 of them, I guess, to build engineers. So. And right now, these Rambo comms going to be pushing forward. Harbingers in the area. Harbingers can deal with Rambo comms pretty well, but not when they're supported this heavily. So, something to keep our eyes on. Down here to the south, the Buzzkill line out from Grunty Noob, seemingly enough. And really no more cruisers being produced by Blodier. He's not interested in just investing so much mass to kill off just this one base. Instead, throwing his mass seemingly into land. Here in the middle, we have another T3 land fight. Occasional Ilsheva mixed in there. But the brick count is rising rapidly. And a Megalith now on the way for Kelly. Oh man, and over here to the east he has, or to the north, he has a bunch of UEF units granted to him by Harzer. Harzer not wanting to micro that, and it seems as though No Fear, he is really producing a lot, but kind of struggling with the combined arms, the combined push. There's a push in the south of majority bricks, and here in the middle we have a mishmash of different tiers of UEF units, but they are going to take time to kill. Percivals they're not known for their high reload rate is what I'll put there. And right now it's looking difficult for No Fear, but he does have the tools to manage this. I think this southern base might be in dire straits. I would be very surprised if Kelly allows this to survive too much longer. And you can even see the forces to the north are kind of cheating their way down, just trying to slow down any reinforcements and maybe even pick off a couple of those Percivals before they can get down here to respond to the bricks. And the bricks want to push in. If they can get the factories, they've done their job. They want to stop these factories from producing more Othams, specifically this one right here, and they want to force No Fear out of the low ground entirely. And that factory is going to go down. It's right-clicked. It goes down. And we just see constant battles here in the middle out from Kelly and No Fear, who are happy to trade units back and forth. Of course, a big part of this is who gets the reclaim field. And Kelly is moving up with some engineers. There's some T2 engineers, or T3 engineers out of D's Nuts, trying to build up some PD to secure the reclaim field, and it's now a relatively impactful field. 23,000, that's more than was started on the map, so that's going to be a very important point of contention. Meanwhile, in the north, we haven't really talked about it in a second, but these Rambo comms, these spearheads, the Titans, they're just getting so much value. They're just destroying No Fear's northernmost base. Honestly, at this point, I'd tell No Fear, hey, you gotta leave this to Blast Shield. You're managing too much in the middle. Leave Blast Shield to rebuild this area. And hopefully send enough Percivals up here to stop these Rambo comms, because they are devastating to you right now. And a Fat Boy now on the way for No Fear. How far along is that Megalith? Oh, it's about to get into the green, which means it's nearing 75% HP, or at least 70. I don't remember the exact number. And up to the north, Harzer really getting a lot of value. There's multiple Strat Bombers now in the air for Blast Shield, trying to shut down these Rambo comms. And now Harzer just going to send his own comm forward. He doesn't really have any upgrades other than damage and range. Would love to see maybe Shield, maybe T2 or T3 thrown onto this comm to make it more useful. I'm very scared of it moving forward right here. I'd be very fearful of what could happen to him. And this base down here completely destroyed, and he had enough brick count, even after throwing so much DPS into these structures, to maintain control of this area. And now Reclaim just going heavily right there for Team 2. And you're seeing that they're kind of struggling in Reclaim totals. But right now, you're going to see Harzer going up. You're going to see a lot of Reclaim showing up for D's Nuts. But was that what I think it is? Oh no, it's a Billy! And in comes the Billy, and out goes the Engineers. Oh, that's brutal. Blast Shield has built an experimental. It is a GC, and I think a GC can stop this push in its tracks. Could even possibly just kill off Harzer, who has been doing a spectacular job up here. Fat Boy also completed. The Megalith is about to be done as well, and that Billy Nuke doing a lot of work there, gonna really help. Also killed off a lot of the Reclaim, but it's better to have the Reclaim dead than in enemy hands. And up to the north, Harzer still trying to push forward. His commander now all the way up here and underneath a shield. I don't understand the logic behind putting his commander so far forward. But the Rambo comms have done admirable work down here. And the GC is waltzing on in, and the only ACU that isn't managing to run away is the most important one. Harzer is on a smoke break, and he's taking it in a very dangerous place. As the GC is gonna waltz in, he realizes it, he starts walking away, but it's too little, it's too late, and the GC is gonna galactically decimate that commander. And now we have reached an impasse. It's a 3v3. Blowdeer sitting on 2 bases is scary. He's already proven a knack for being an absolute annoyance. Billy Nuke out over here killing off some of Blowdeer's forces. Who has that? It's Grunty Noob with the Billy Nuke. Already up to 30,000 mass killed. Another Fat Boy completes for No Fear. GC double Fat Boy in the north. You just have to question, how do you deal with this? The Rambo comms might be able to deal with the GC, but after that, the Fat Boy is just going to be able to run away from them. And the GC almost assuredly going to go down to the Rambo comms here. Will maybe take 1 or 2 of them with it. But that is a very rough position. Blowdeer is the best suited to deal with it, and in come the strategic bombers, and they could cause massive damage here as Blast Shield is sitting on a cohort of bombers that's going to be very scary. Second GC done for Blast Shield, and so many units out on the field, so much happening. 30,000 mass killed on that comm. And every time these units push forward, you can expect him to just say no and launch another nuke. Although he is loaded right here, and in comes the nuke, and that's even going to get the added benefit of killing Reclaim in an area that his team isn't going to control for a long while. So in comes the nuke, and bam! Megalith loses a bunch of HP. The bricks luckily get out of the way in time. You can see all the Reclaim in that area gone now. And over here to the north, the Fat Boy and GC combo doing very well. One of the Fat Boys built by No Fear sent south, worried about the Megalith, and rightfully so. That Megalith could be a huge problem. If he has another one loaded, it's time to launch it right here at this cliff face because there's so much pathfinding issues. He can get a lot done, but maybe he thinks he's going to kill it anyway with the broadswords. Would require a huge air intervention, and here it comes as an air fight breaks out between D's Nuts and Grunty Noob. D's Nuts going to focus on winning the air fight instead of killing off all of those. Oh, the Billy managed to kill off a bunch of the ASF. Oh, the Billy! That is unfortunato for D's Nuts, who basically loses all of his Air Force to a Billy nuke. That is quite the moment in FAF. Those are just one of those moments. It's like a happy little accident. It's Bob Ross up in this. As a chicken attempting to chase down the Fat Boy. Unfortunately, that's a lot of Percivals, and the Fat Boy itself does a lot of damage. I don't think the chicken is going to have a very good time here. Yeah, chicken goes down. And man, Billy nukes are getting a lot of value here. 55,000 mass killed out from Grunty Noob. And up here to the north, artillery base being built by Blowdeer doesn't want to be pushed by the Fat Boy. The GC has moved its way towards the center. Lots of Fat Boys now on the field for No Fear. If he can manage to conglomerate them, to group them up somewhere and push, that could be huge. But he does have to worry about, well, air and a whole bunch of other things. And there's also just a lot of experimentals on the field. He's definitely sitting in the strongest land position out of any of these players. The only one even coming close to challenging him is maybe D's Nuts and Kelly combined. But right now, Billy yet again coming in. The Fat Boy cannot physically outrun the Billy even at max range. The Fat Boy just gets hit by it. And it only takes a few Billies to kill a Fat Boy. So that Fat Boy out from Blowdeer most likely not going to achieve too much with Grunty Noob walking around with a nuke strapped to his back. Here in the middle, double Fat Boy pushing. No Fear gets another Fat Boy out into the field. He could have double Fat Boy on multiple fronts, giving one of the Fat Boys over to Blast Chilled. Deciding that is an important play there. Grunty Noob has built his own Fat Boy. Now there's going to be 3 Fat Boys in the middle as well as a GC. There's a GC up here in the north. And oh, it's going to try and sneak in. The GC is going to try and sneak into the base, and it might be a perfect time for it as a Duke is about to complete for Blowdeer in this northern base. And the armies in the middle are growing to staggering numbers. You gotta be a little bit worried for whoever's gonna lose the massive fight in the middle. The best case scenario if you're losing is that you take out enough of their stuff that they can't push. And it's gonna come to a head at some point. Up in the north, that GC, it's gonna do exactly what I said. It's gonna waltz its way into the base. That Duke is gonna finish. But it's gonna be born into a world of pain and suffering if that GC isn't noticed. And it's not. Oh, that's gonna be brutal. And a lot of mass being thrown to Below Deer from these nuts. He's got a Duke finished up down here, so he won't lose his standoff capabilities based off that alone. An Emissary now on the way for Blast Shield in the northwest corner. That's a lot of Strat Bombers. You have to be worried, because if he can manage to win an air fight, then these standoff tactics just become useless. They become a situation of, well, I have a very expensive thing, but it's not going to live very long. And it's quite the situation here, as the artillery is firing, has a bunch of T1 Pigeons and a single T2, or T3, assisting it. But the GC is going to come out of the water, and there's just not enough in the area. They don't know about the GC until... Well, they won't know about it until it's already made landfall. This is just going to be a surprise, and a surprise that you don't really want to see. But they do find the Strat Bombers. The Strat Bombers going to have to try and run away. D's Nuts trying to dive on them. And it's a bit scary to keep going. They are going to get one that lost its orders as it went off map. And, oh no, Below Deer! He queued it and forgot. I think he's distracted by the GC. He's flying right into the Air Force of Blast Shield. He's gonna get some of the Strat Bombers, but not most of them, as the GC moves in to the base that has the Duke. It's gonna be able to get in here. The question is, do you focus the power or do you focus the Duke? I think you have to focus the Duke, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. Half HP already on the GC. It will get a rank of veterancy from killing the Duke. It can maybe kill off some of this power, especially getting rid of a lot of those hives will help. And yeah, it does get it. A lot of the hives go down. But that's a lot of reclaim now for Below Deer, and the sad part about it is all of that reclaim is just going to go down here, where he is building a lot of Dukes. He really wants more Dukes. Billy lands yet again, as two Megaliths now threatening to move forward. Already getting a mass extractor kill is pretty good. And these two Megaliths are going to try and push into the base of No Fear, or maybe even just go against Grunty Noob, who's at 56,000 mass killed on that Billy. And that's a stupid amount of bricks. Right over there. And we just have this situation. Team 2 up by 600 mass generation. The GC death killed most of the reclaim. Oh, well, even if it did, I couldn't really tell right now. The GC is getting reclaimed. Still, 20,000 reclaim worth of GC is enough to really get a Duke going. So, it's all taken with a grain of salt. And Below Deer, oh, his shielding is struggling. He needs more shields. He's gonna start losing. I think there's an Emissary and maybe a Duke done. Yep, an Emissary and a Duke done for Blast Shield and No Fear respectfully. Or respectively, I don't know. As here in the middle, Fat Boys killing off some wayward bricks. It feels like he has all these bricks, but he can't really push forward. If he ever pushes forward, Grunty Noob will be like, haha, thank you. I'm very happy to kill off all of your bricks with a single Billy Nuke. He does have a Billy loaded. Where is he going to launch it? He does launch it. It is going to go for the bricks over here. Oh, no. Oh. How many? Oh no! Oh man! Whoo! Whoo! That alone, oh, created a mass field worth. Oh. That was He was at like 56,000 before. Where's that commander? 125. Seems legit. Seems very, very legit. Sorry for the black screen there, everybody, in the recording and on stream. I was trying to click this up here, and I went to my second monitor, and I clicked off it, and it goes to a black screen whenever you leave. And man, this Billy was absolutely, like, this is an MVP play. But the sad part about it is all of that it's not mattering. Grunty Noob, the man with the most effective Billy I maybe have ever seen, is losing his base to double crab. Kelly just lost like 50, 60 bricks, but he doesn't care, he has 2 crabs. And guess what? The Fat Boys are about to experience a crab dinner buffet, because they're gonna start getting chased down by the crabs, and the crabs have a lot of HP to spare. I mean, the Fat Boys do kill crabs pretty well, but... Oh, man. Ooh, Billy landing in the base. This has to stop. This can't just keep... He can't keep getting away with it. He can't be allowed. 135,000 mass killed. Oh... The megalith down here does go down, but they killed off this entire base. They paid for themselves for sure. I'm gonna go ahead and take a drink of water. As down here to the south, the air grid of Blodir, I haven't been able to mention it, has been devastated by artillery fire. The artillery war seemingly going pretty well for the Western team. And everybody remember to stay hydrated, take a drink, everybody, and make sure you have a snack. Just have a good time. Life-giving water, nectar of the gods. So, Grunty Noob over here, he's... by the way, this is live. For anybody curious watching the finished edited cast, I'm casting live now because I want to stream almost every day and try and get videos every day for you all. But somebody in the chat had the best name for this, and they're not getting any credit, but the Drive-By Billy is a great name for this. And that's another Billy Nuke flying out, and it's going for what? I think it's going for the chicken. I think this chicken already ate one Billy, and it's about to eat another one. Oh, wait! Is it going for bricks? Oh, it's going for bricks. Oh, no! It's just another brick in the wall! Woo! He's just riding around in a Continental launching nukes, having a good time. There's another one. Where's it going? It's going over here. I think this one might be stopped. Yeah, there's enough TMD. Or maybe it won't. You know what? Just in case. We have to. Oh, man. Oh. Fire another one. You get to be in the thumbnail, Grunty Noob. Okay, maybe I should slow it down the next time he goes to fire one, because that was not quite what I was hoping for. We're gonna wait until he's loaded, and then we're gonna slow it down just to get that juicy thumbnail shot. Is it gonna land? Don't tell me this lands. Alright. Please fire me another one. Come on, fire it. Fire it. Come on, do it. I know you want to. Come on, Grunty. You're at 179,000 mass killed. You gotta get past 200. Okay, he's been he's walking. Why is he walking? Come on, fire another Billy. Fire another one. Don't make me come into this replay later. Give the nuking order. Give it. Give it, please. I need it. Oh man, he's not gonna do it. He's not gonna play nice. All right, well let's go back to normal speed. Down here to the south, 3 dukes, one of which is very jank, but a duke is a duke is a duke. Trying to fire back onto this one. Tsar! I've said this so many times, but you can just put the Tsar on top of this, and you're gonna see the Tsar eating a lot of these artillery shells, especially the ones that actually threaten the duke. The Tsar eats it pretty well. Oh yeah. The only issue with this is if the Tsar dies, it falls on top of the Duke, and the Tsar decides to move out of the way. Duke's still alive, but really under concerted fire. Lots of artillery coming down over here to the east. Oh man. Grunty noob. I want to see him get 200,000 mass killed. I want to see it. But I don't know if he's capable of it. If he is, then great. You can just see everywhere he's been nuking though. Oh man. Come on. I need you to do it for me, Grunty. I need to be the big man. Oh, he's not gonna do it. In other news, artillery wars are happening. I don't really like covering them because they're boring. Over here, the shields are kind of faltering. Oh, that's Yelona Os, queued up by D's Nuts. With 533 mass income, he can build that relatively quickly. He's struggling to keep shields on over here over his artillery, but he is at least keeping them on. Blodier sitting on a 4th Duke now, and has 3 more queued up for good measure. What about artillery on the other side? We have 2 emissaries. That's about it. We got a Duke over here. This Duke went down, but there's 2 over here. Grunty noob stopped nuking right whenever I wanted to get the shot. It's made me very sad. There's so many land units just everywhere. And the Tsar gonna be used for shielding it again, and it has 30,000 shields. I mean, it's better than a Seraphim T3 shield. Seraphim T3 shield, 21,000. It's a very good shield, and if you put it at the right spot, you can block some of these artillery shells from being an issue. Oh! This brick army, there's no way it just gets to have a fun time. It doesn't get to push forward, but Kelly is going to try nonetheless to go forward. And right now, Blodier, man, he's building three Dukes at a time. I mean, he's not actually, oh, he's reclaiming some of them now. But that force is moving forward. Is Grunty gonna nuke? Come on, Grunty. You gotta make it happen, man. Oh, he nukes! Damn it! I should have trusted my instincts. He's gonna nuke again. Okay, he already has the next nuking order, I think. Okay, he stops it. Oh, the Tsar dies! And it falls on top of an SMD! No! Oh, that SMD is gonna go down! Oh, that is horrible! The Billy lands, as we all expected it to.
Strategic launch detected.
Strategic launch detected. It's coming out of the base of No Fear. Don't know where that's going. I'm kind of more worried about catching the Billy. It's going down here. Is it just going... Is it going for this base? Oh, the SMD here died! There is no SMD, and Blodier, he just rebuilt it! Oh, this nuke is gonna be very pretty to watch. That's 4 nukes! Count them, 4 nukes about to die. And man... what a day for nuclear warfare. On both the large and small scale. Damn it! I missed the launch again. So, it's such a fast launch compared to everything else. Like, it gets out of the ACU so quickly. We're gonna keep an eye on Grunty Noob's comm here. Wait for it to load another Billy. But down in the south, the largest Percival force known to man is pushing. In the middle, the bricks and the megalith are gonna start pushing forward. 3 fat boys gonna try and defend against this. Make it 4. There's a lot of Percivals. Would love the Percivals to move forward so the fat boys can hold their ground. Another strategic launch detected, this time out of Blodier, heading towards the northern side, but it looks like it's just gonna run into an anti-nuke. And it does indeed do just that. And man, oh man, is it chaos. Alright, come on, man. You gotta give me the good launch. Alright, let's go ahead and do this. We're gonna speed it up a little bit, and then right before, he's gonna nuke the second it's done. I don't care about the other nukes, this is for the thumbnail, damn it! I've wasted enough time, I may as well get it right. Alright, alright. Launch it! It's gonna happen any second now. I know you all, this is what you came here for. Totally. Oh. Come on, launch it already. It's only -10 speed. It should be launching right now. Why isn't it launching? Did it already launch? No, it didn't. There we go! Oh, that's what we needed. Thank you so much, Grunty Noob. Now then, back to normal speed. Here in the middle, we have the fight of all fights. That nuke is being launched right here. We just have the fight of all fights everywhere. In comes the nuke. It's gonna get some Percivals, and it may even do quite a bit to this fat boy. Woo! And the floodgates have opened. It's all out war. This southern flank has so many Percivals. It is a brutal situation. Nukes flying out of these silos so quickly. This anti-nuke now under threat of dying. There's another one in the background that's about to get another anti-nuke loaded. But Blodier just keeps throwing nukes here. The anti-nuke is dead. And this is absolute carnage. Let's just appreciate it. It's just, all of these units doing all of the good stuff. We love to see it. Billy's going off left and right. Grunty Noob's comm is dangerously close to the front. I think Grunty Noob might be dying, guys. Oh no! No, how much mass killed? He passed 200,000 mass killed! And he's dying! Oh, everything is just chaos, and I love it. Units pushing on all sides from Blowdeer and Kelly. We have multiple megaliths. We have a Tsar now coming in to try and enact some vengeance upon these forces that have taken so much. GCs walking in chickens. And I think this attack coming out from Kelly, Blowdeer, and these nuts are not going to be successful. The Yelona Os up to 60% complete. The base of No Fear, now a shadow of its former self. And now we find ourselves at an impasse. Team 1 is over 1,200 mass a second behind the enemy team. They're trying to kill the YOLO before it comes online, but they're sequestered to the corner of the map. No Fear and Blast Shield have played so hard. They have struggled through every aspect of this match, and they have clawed their way into a position where they thought they might win. But it's starting to look a little bit inevitable with the mass nuking coming out from Blowdeer. He still has 2 in the chamber. The YOLO on the way. If the YOLO finishes it, it might just be game. 4 fat boys, a Tsar, GCs, chickens. Just everything in the kitchen sink now needs to make an advance. And honestly, it's looking like Team 1 just have air control. I don't know if spamming Tsars would be a bad idea. I mean, if you spam them up, you can go with the I'm gonna pancake you strategy. The shields are down, but they keep popping on at the perfect time to save this YOLO, which is now into the green above 75% HP. And the fat boys march forward. The GC's in front. The large T3 land armies of yesteryear are gone. It's only experimentals, artilleries, and nukes. And this game has gone the distance. Kelly has managed to get laser done, has teleporter done. I don't know where his comm is, but there's only one corner of the map where he would possibly teleport. His comm is right here. It's not teleporting. If I miss a telemaser, I miss a telemaser. It happens. It's a one-way trip no matter what way you look at it for him if he takes that maser in. I think that might just be an insurance policy. And the fat boys, they're stopped. I don't understand. Just keep pushing forward. Just keep going. Keep going. In the north, another push attempted. The Tsar, the Restorers, the GCs, the fat boys. The massive land army, the only really big T3 land army in the map. He's the one controlled by Blast Shield, trying to push forward. The YOLO is done, and it's about to begin nuking. A nuke launched out from the Western team, this one coming out from No Fear. I think it's probably the only realistic target is to try and get the YOLO, but the YOLO has a loaded anti right next to it. Maybe kill off this base in the front. Allow your land forces to keep pushing. That does seem to be the play. It does remove a lot of the threats stopping you from pushing forward, including one of the chickens going down there. The 2 GCs pushing forward, but in the base over here, Kelly, as I said, it was a one-way trip. He goes in, but he doesn't go out. You can't explain it. And that managed to kill an emissary. Although, or I don't even know if it killed an emissary. it was attempting to. The YOLO is firing. The artillery pieces across the map have gone quiet. Or at least most of them. The GCs are pushing in. It might be the last chance. All of these land experimentals banked up for the Western team, specifically by Blast Shield. Starting to push forward. Air is trying to be used in a big way. I think you just send in the air. You gotta kill off that YOLO. Honestly, you might have the land push to win the game if you're lucky. But you gotta kill off these bombers and you gotta just win air. The air fight coming in. And Blast Shield just has so many ASF. It's a little bit unfair. The Czars, the Restorers, they're pushing in. They just need to keep the comms safe. No Fear and Blast Shield need to make sure their comms don't get caught in a nuke. Nuclear PD is going to be a very real option very soon. The Tsar gets killed as it falls. It's going to kill off maybe a shield. No, or yeah, it does get the shield. The Restorers coming in. They're not going to get too much. The GCs managed to get stopped there. The Fat Boys pushed off the enemy T3 land units, and they're trying to push in the middle, but it just doesn't seem to be enough. The air is now firmly in the control of Blast Shield. Just needs to manage to get something in the sky strong enough to kill off that YOLO. And is going for Strat Bombers. Just needs to survive long enough to get the Strat Bombers, but I'm not sure that'll happen. The YOLO still hasn't landed. The GC trying to push forward, just trying to say I'll ignore the chicken, but it's not going to work. More chickens being mass produced for land defense. The ASF trying to nuke block, I think, but I think that was removed. I don't think they can block the nuke anymore. And that gives away the air control to the Eastern team. And it's looking like it might all be over. The artillery shells come in, the air grid about to go down. One of the strats came out of the factory at the wrong time and felt swift death for it. And the Fat Boys are going to push on the south, but it's hard to imagine Bloodier's just going to let that kill him. And it's just looking brutal. The artillery is still coming in over here. Shields not holding up.
Strategic launch detected.
The YOLO fires again. Does the nuke of Bloodier have one loaded? It has 3 loaded. And that one's gonna be stopped. YOLO being stopped yet again. In the middle, chicken trying to push forward, gonna find itself in the crosshairs of 2 Fat Boys. Not gonna live very long with that concerted firepower. Strategic launch detected. This one coming out from the base of No Fear. There's just seemingly too much on this eastern side defensively. The YOLO doesn't, they don't have the anti-nukes to stop the YOLO. The Strat Bomber cloud is growing greatly, but that's a lot of shields to chew through even for a lot of Strat Bombers.
Strategic launch detected.
Multiple nukes flying out now. The anti-nukes have been taxed about as much as possible. This one can stop a YOLO. This one can't even stop a normal nuke. So one of these two most likely gonna land unless, yeah, no. Unless this loads in time, it's a race. But all of the Strat Bombers being locked onto means that the Strat Bomber's gonna go down. The YOLO stopped, but the normal nuke not. Blast Shield killed, No Fear killed. And that is the end of the game. Thank you all for watching. Please consider liking and subscribing if you aren't subscribed already. Thank you to the channel members and Patreons who support this channel so much. If you want to support the channel further, you can consider those options. Channel members get access to every video early, and channel Patreons get their name at the end of every single video. You all are beautiful. This is Willow, signing off.
But if I lay down and I play dead